Welcome everybody to the 2021 Transvalor International Simulation Days. I am Fausto Gil Di Vincenzo and I am the Sales and Marketing Director of Transvalor. And it's a pleasure for me to be your chairman for this event and guide you through this amazing conference for the next coming days. Before joining Transvalor last year, I've been in the simulation world for more than 15 years and in manufacturing intelligence, spanning from computational flight dynamics, mechanics, and multiphysics. But I'm very pleased to welcome on the stage our chairman and CEO, Robert Brank. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you, Fausto.
And our co-CEO, Stefan Heitz. Welcome, Stefan.
Thank you, Fausto.
For the opening session of this conference. Robert, you have been appointed as CEO and chairman at the end of last year after a career rich of experience in all the major industries. I mean, in energy, oil and gas, and materials. If I would like, maybe the most challenging one, when you was the chairman and CEO of CGG Veritas. But Robert, before I start questioning you, could you please open the session?
Well, thank you, Fausto. Your introduction was rather elogious. Thank you. I would like to open this Transvalor International Simulation Days after 2 years of uncertainty. It's clear we come out of 2 COVID years, no command. We hope we will be back to normal. And as we are around 300 people around this event, I would like it to be a real congress, a real convention where we exchange, where we talk about our plans, our next steps, and how we will solve the tremendous challenges we have for our industry in the future.
Thanks a lot, Robert. And let me get the chance to thank all the people who have been working hard for the work and the extra work to make this event a successful event, as you just mentioned, with about 300 people attending this conference. I want to thank you, our marketing team, our experts, but more important, our partners and our customers being contributed to this event. Robert, I would start the session, with the title that reads Transvalor's Journey to 2025. Actually, I'm pretty sure that all the audience is willing to better understand what's behind this sentence, and moreover, what is our long-term vision. And my first question to you comes from the discussions I have and exchange I have with our customers, and we often end up talking about the energy transition, but moreover, the effects of the climate change on their manufacturing processes. Robert, what's your opinion on this topic, and what are the main consequences that you see on the customers' requirements?
Well, for still having spent about half of my career in the energy sector, nuclear first and then oil and gas, I'm delighted that we take it really serious. Nothing's new. In year 2000, there were the first thoughts about how will we continue working in a galloping demography with more and more and CO2 emission, because basically what we did to get energy, we basically extract it from the earth and put it in the atmosphere. So this will take hundreds of years to come back to normal, but at least right now we want to stop it. That means for us, energy transition means for us that we have to stop digging out carbon and to capture energy wherever it is. So it's a huge transfer from the carbon-based energy industry to the material-based capturing devices. So the pressure comes on us.
Exactly. So if the pressure comes to us, so we have to be agile.
Yes, we have to be agile because that's the natural event of this huge crisis. First of all, while things evolve, their wishful thinkings. Then comes the sense of urgency. We're
Right.
there. Then comes the panic mode. I think we're in a kind of panic mode, at least for the younger generation. That tell us, what kind of planet do you leave behind? And this younger generation are the future consumers. And this younger generation are the future talents. So our industry has to play a huge role. And we, as industrialists, we know that even if public opinion says we have to do it right now, if in the political campaigns, it's high on the agenda and regulations will come upon us, we can just go step by step. Some initiatives will work, some others will not work. This I call agility. How rapidly will we adapt?
Definitely. Thanks, Robert. And here we are with my second question, and that is related to another important topic, that is the pandemic and how it is actually affecting the economy worldwide. And you often mention to me that any economy change or transition actually represents an opportunity. May I ask you a question? How this pandemic is an opportunity for us? What have we learned from the COVID-19? And more important, how can we help?
Yes, every crisis, every major change is an opportunity. And the first opportunity is we have to learn from it. Why did we come to this point? I was in cyclical business, cyclical energy. In terms of pandemic, as I worked worldwide with CGG, I have now, this will be the fourth pandemic. We forgot SARS-1, we forgot SARS-2, we forgot MERS. We didn't learn a lot about it because it was less contagious. So this time, I hope we learn about it. Yes, in terms of energy transition, the world is a global village and we have to find a solution together. But we don't have to forget that we are rooted locally. We have to work regionally, and we have to make sure that among regions, our transactions are robust. I tell you, I'm a little bit afraid that we don't learn too much about it because it was not too heavy. We managed it pretty good. We had vaccines. There are many pandemics like Ebola, there was no vaccine. So we had vaccine, and the threat is that we haven't learned enough about it. But I think nevertheless, it's a huge disruption.
Thanks, Robert. Actually, definitely, I do agree with you. And so for what you mentioned, proximity and partnering is key for us. And in this new environment, which are the main challenges that you see for Transveller in partnering with our customers?
What we learned out of the COVID is that digital became part of us. Digitally working, remote working is part of us. For Transveller, we have to capitalize on that. Yes, the simulation industry was a hidden industry. People bought cars, people bought this or this kind of goods, but simulation was not there. So right now, I think it'll be really the years where simulation will play a huge role. We at Transveller will continue deepening our know-how. We will add to the Forge suite. We will add ZSET, which is the evolution of material over time. Stéphane will talk about it. We will integrate our simulation and our thoughts into the global industry 4.0 way. No doubt, our industry or factories, there will be sensors and data everywhere. So what? There will be sensors and data everywhere. What do we do with it? Yeah. In terms of innovation, you have to get the relevant data. We know that only 1 or 2% of the data we have is relevant for our thoughts right now. And the decision makers will have to choose among options. And and very, very often, you try something, you have to change again. So having an ability to manage the big data, an ability to have the relevant data, the ability to simulate basically your car, for example, your factory. The day you make a decision, the digital factory exists, the digital car exists, and tomorrow it'll be reality. As a matter of fact, there's a shift between reality, I touch him, and what is already reality, because it is simulated, it'll work overnight.
Yeah, Robert, can I say just, straight on that, are we investing in artificial intelligence? That's
Clear. Thank you for being precise. Obviously, without machine learning, artificial intelligence, and we open a new science center on this. You know that Transfer Law is very much linked with academics, and this is 15% of our turnover is R&D, and this is a new heavy way of investing with the academics around us.
Thanks a lot, Robert, for sharing your thoughts. Can I summarize that, in this new environment, digital manufacturing, actually our technology, becomes one of the major players, even more than before?
It's the brain. It's the brain. Digital is the brain. And then we have to act. I see two consequences on the mindset, mental model, so to say, of this industry. The first one is nobody will look at us as an old industry, heavy industry anymore, but as a smart industry. The consumers first, they expect a lot from us, and the talents want to join us, because the dream is to continue, obviously, on this planet, to live and work in a smart way. So we'll be very attractive as a matter of fact.
Thanks a lot, Robert, for sharing with us, with the community, your thoughts and your vision. That's really inspiring for all the talents out there. Let me now introduce to the audience someone actually you know really well, because you have been working with him since years. Our co-CEO, Stefan Heitz. Welcome again, Stefan.
Thank you, Fausto.
So and it's industry and academics.
Exactly, as our DNA. And Stefan, before joining Transvalor spring this year, you have been working as Chief of Staff at Armin. Armin actually is dedicated to develop and promote partnering contracts between the industry and the academic. Here we are again. You have a double degree. You have a PhD in neurobiology, if I'm not wrong, and you have an MBA from the Business School of Strasbourg, and also you graduated from the European Center of Executive Development, the CEDER. So my question is simple to you. How all this different experience helps you in your new role at Transvalor?
Thank you, Fausto, for this elogious presentation of myself. But let me, before answering your question, thanking all of our customers and partners that are present today. I've been told there are more than 300 people from 27 countries and 147 companies. So really thank you for being there today, for being with us today. I also wish to thank our speakers from Transvalor and all of our keynote speakers who accepted to be there today. So thank you very much. To answer your question, yes, creating bridges between science and industry is very important in my career. And for Transvalor, it helps me to good understand Transvalor core challenges and to transform the strategic vision that Robert mentioned into operational, developing new solutions, leading to ultimately satisfied customers, satisfied clients.
Yeah, just satisfied clients for me, is really important. Is for all of us actually, and this is goes to another important aspect for you, that is being customer centric, being client centric. That's key for you. I know, because you mentioned often to me, and so. But for all of our audience there, what does it mean? And mainly, what does it change for our customers?
Fausto, industry is evolving very, very rapidly, as Robert mentioned previously, and things are changing so fastly, we can imagine it before. So we are close to our customers, and we must remain even closer to them to always understand their needs and to answer the questions they have at the moment they come.
Right. But practically speaking, what does it mean?
Practically speaking, we have decided to enlarge our geographical footprint. That's why we have decided to settle a new subsidiary in Middle East to be even more closer to our customers that are localized in India, in the Middle East, in Russia, and we will settle sales and technical commercial forces in this area. We have also decided to reinforce our position in China as well as in the USA, because we need to be in the offices, we need to be in the factories of our customers, we need to understand how they use our software, our solutions to anticipate the future needs and be there at the turning point.
Thanks.
This is the center of our vision, achieving together these goals.
Thanks a lot, Stefan. So I can see a lot of synergy between us and the customer, partnering to build together the right solution for day-to-day, for their future. But pretty sure that our customer are also there, looking forward, for something about, new products. Can you please tell us more? What will be shortly developed our customers can benefit from?
Yes, Fausto. Our customers have some kind of in-house simulation solutions made of many softwares which have to deal together, which have to interact. Yeah. And some of these softwares are ours, and I thank our customers for trusting us for decades. And making all this software discussing together might be a real nightmare for our customers, developers. They must have sometimes some kind of headache, but we are here to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. That's why we have decided to render open the access to some of the API connectors to our software to facilitate everyday's life of our customers, because we must be, as a specialist, part of the solution and not part of the problem for our customers.
That's great, Stefan, because I see actually a lot of values for our customers. I can confirm you that a lot of our customers have been looking for that kind of solution for a long time. And then can I say that we can improve the efficiency of their processes?
For sure.
Great.
Some kind of efficiency.
Yeah. And do you have, actually, I know, Stefan, because we have discussed about it, but do you have other novelties to announce, something really good that they can really change the processes and the efficiency of our customers?
Yes, Fausto. Robert talked about this earlier. I'm thrilled to announce that we have integrated in our portfolio the ZSET solution. And this is very exciting because we can now propose to our customers the possibility to simulate the aging, the fatigue, the crack initiation and crack propagation in the manufactured piece and materials they are developing. With that, now we have a revolutionary approach, since we can offer to our customer the possibility to simulate from the cradle to the grave of the material, from the raw material till the end life of the manufactured piece, going through forging with forge and welding with transweld and so on. And this will be a very revolutionary approach. And moreover, we talked previously about efficiency. We can now simulate the possibility of the aging of the manufacturing tools and help our customers going from proactive maintenance to predictive maintenance. This is maybe the ultimate key of efficiency. This is exciting and very, very revolutionary.
Actually, it is, Stefan. I see a lot of value for our customers, as you just mentioned, in terms of predictive maintenance. And being in the simulation world for about 2 decades, I can actually see that that's really unique for what we're proposing to our customers. So, Stefan, so far we have been talking about novelties, a vision in terms of material forming. But actually, I'm really proud, being a Trasvero, employee, that Trasvero actually is part of the climate change. You know what I'm talking about? Can you please tell us a little bit more?
Yeah. Fausto, as a human being, we all have to face the climate change. As previously mentioned by Robert, we have a legacy to offer to the next generation about the Earth. And all the companies that are our customers are involved in the energy transition, and we must be part of it. We are very good in modeling. We expert in data management. We are the top in prediction. And the combination of these three aspects allows us to offer to some of our customers a unique solution, the SODA solution, which is dedicated to solar irradiation data, to the forecasting, ultimately helps our customers that are involved in the production of green energy based on photovoltaics to manage these photovoltaics, to manage photovoltaics farms, and so on. This is very important for us.
Yeah, great to be part of the climate change. And it's not a curiosity, but there is something that, you know, I found really interesting when I joined Transvalor a year ago. You know, that I'm so proud of it because Transvalor, you know, we are in the simulation world, but we are also helping the scientists, you know, spread, you know, the knowledge outside there. So you know what I'm talking about. Can you please tell us, our audience?
Yes, Fausto, Robert and I are very proud about this department because, like we previously mentioned, making bridges between science and industry is very important. And here at Transvalor, we have the unique possibility that we can offer to scientists to publish their work, to publish their knowledge through our publishing department, which is called Presse des Mines, and very, very well renewed, at least in France.
Actually, it is. Stefan, before we start, you know, with the conference itself, you know, going through all the technical presentation experience from our customer, could you please give the audience your actually last message?
Yeah, thank you, Fausto. So this address is to our audience. I'm very pleased that today you are here at the third edition of the Transvalor International Simulation Days. This is very exciting for us. You will see some kind of revolutionary things, good, very excellent presentation from our speakers, our keynote speakers. So let me offer you these days as your days. These days are the days of our customers, your days. So please, really please, enjoy your journey. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Stefan, for your inspiring thoughts, and thanks a lot, Robert, to being here.
Thank you.